If you've ever bought a high-end water filter, whether for your shower or for your drinking water, and found that it barely lasts a week, you're not alone. You install a brand new pitcher filter, maybe something like Clearly Filtered or Epic Pure, and within a week or just a few days, the flow slows to a trickle. Or maybe it's a high-performance shower filter, like the Weddle Duo, and it's working great at first until the water pressure drops off completely after just a few showers. Naturally, it's frustrating, and you start to wonder if the filter is defective and if you've just wasted your money. After all, these filters aren't cheap, and swapping them out multiple times per month is not something most people can justify long term. But here's the thing. In most cases, the filter isn't broken, and the company didn't ship you a bad product. In fact, it's probably working exactly as it should. The problem is with the quality of the water, not the filter itself. In this video, I'm going to break down what exactly is going on, why it's more common than you might think, and a simple, affordable solution that can save you time, frustration, and a lot of money in the long run. So if you're using or thinking about using a water filter pitcher or shower filter and want to make sure it lasts, stick around because this one's gonna help. Let's start with what's actually in your water, especially if you live in an older home or apartment connected to a municipal water supply. Even though city water is treated and tested to meet safety standards, it can still contain a surprising amount of sediment, tiny particles of sand, rust, or scale that break loose from aging infrastructure or enter the system during maintenance work. This is especially common for renters or apartment dwellers who don't have control over the plumbing in their building. Sediment can come from anywhere: the city's distribution pipes, your building's internal plumbing, or even the fixtures in your unit. Sediment isn't necessarily harmful to drink, but it can wreak havoc on your water filters, especially the kinds that are designed to remove things like microplastics, lead, PFAS, and VOCs. Many high-performance filters today, both in pitchers and shower units, use what's called a carbon block filter. Carbon block filters are excellent at removing a wide range of chemical contaminants. They work by forcing water through a tightly packed, porous block of activated carbon. This structure gives them a lot of surface area for better contact with the water, but it also means those pores are tiny. When sediment gets into these filters, it doesn't just pass through, it clogs the pores. And once that happens, flow rate drops significantly. In a pitcher filter, water will slow to a drip, and in a shower filter, you'll see a noticeable drop in pressure. These filters are not built to handle large amounts of physical debris. They're built for chemical filtration, not sediment removal. So when they're exposed to water with even moderate amounts of sediment, they can become overloaded incredibly fast. And I've heard from so many of you guys about this exact issue. One viewer told me their Clearly Filtered pitcher only lasts 3 weeks before it slowed to an unusable trickle. Another said they installed the Weddle Duo shower filter only to lose water pressure after a week or two. And you'll see the same thing if you look at product reviews on Amazon, like they worked great for 10 days, showering for 2 every day, and then they turned brown and the water flow reduced to around 50%. Works, but greatly reduces pressure to the point where I can't use it, and within 3 days, this filter stopped working, and so on. Understandably, their first thought was that the filter was defective or that there was something wrong with the design. But after digging into this issue, the problem became immediately clear to me. The filter was doing exactly what it was designed to do. It was just dealing with far more sediment than it should. So what's the solution? Fortunately, there's a very simple and cost-effective fix, and that's to install a sediment pre-filter before your main carbon filter. A sediment filter is designed to catch the dirt, rust, and other particulates that your carbon block filter isn't meant to handle. By placing it upstream on the water line, it acts like a first line of defense, protecting your more expensive carbon block filters and keeping them from clogging up prematurely. The best way to do this is by using an industry standard 10 by 2.5 inch filter housing, which holds a 10-inch sediment filter cartridge. These filters have a much higher capacity for capturing particulates than what you'd find in most pitchers or shower filters. Once installed, this simple upgrade can dramatically extend the lifespan of your filters, keep your flow rate strong, and save you money in the long run. So now I'm going to show you step by step exactly how to set this up, both in the shower and under the kitchen sink. If you're using a high-performance shower filter like the Weddle Duo, which combines both a small sediment filter and carbon block filter, you can upgrade this setup by handling the sediment before water even gets to it. Here's what you'll need: a 10-inch by 2.5-inch filter housing with half-inch FPT connections, a 10-inch 20-micron sediment filter cartridge, 2 half-inch male by half-inch male hex nipple fittings. Now, I used certified lead-free brass fittings from my local hardware store, but be careful, especially with brass fittings from Amazon, because brass can often contain lead. Alternatively, you could use stainless steel, which I'll link up in the description. These may just corrode faster. A handheld shower head. I used this Moen Magnetics one, and an extra shower hose, and a shower caddy to hold the housing when it's full of water. And here's what you do. Attach the male hex nipple fittings to the filter housing. Open the housing and put the cartridge inside. And here, add some silicone lubricant to the O-ring to make it easier to open when it's time for a replacement. Next, remove your old shower head and install the handheld shower head bracket onto the shower arm. Hook up the inlet hose from the shower arm to the filter housing. Now attach your shower filter to the hex fitting on the outlet of the filter housing. Then run the other hose from the filter housing outlet, or rather your shower filter installed there, to the shower head. Hang your shower caddy from the shower arm and place the filter housing in it. Now, since this thing is bulky, it can be kinda awkward to get all the hoses to sit right. I found laying it kind of horizontal on its side with the shower filter turned to accommodate it worked best. And that's it. It's actually pretty simple, and you don't need to be a DIY expert. This setup is ideal for folks living in an apartment or anyone renting because it doesn't require permanent plumbing modifications. It installs just like a standard shower filter and can be removed and uninstalled just as easily when you move out. Now let's talk about drinking water. If you're using a countertop pitcher or gravity-fed system and burning through expensive filters quickly, adding a sediment pre-filter on the cold water line under your kitchen sink can make a huge difference. Once it's in place, all the cold water flowing to your faucet is first filtered for sediment, meaning your pitcher or countertop unit doesn't have to deal with that extra load. Here's the under sink parts list. The same 10-inch by 2.5-inch filter housing and 20-micron sediment filter cartridges, half-inch to 3/8-inch reducer hex compression adapters, 3/8-inch by 3/8-inch flexible compression line. Double check your faucet, but 3/8-inch is the most common. Here's what you do. Attach the fittings to the inlet and outlet ports of the housing. Then we'll attach the compression hose to the housing inlet here, since it's easier than trying to do it under the sink. Turn off the cold water supply valve under your kitchen sink. Next, disconnect the existing cold water supply hose that runs from your shutoff valve to your faucet. Now connect the compression supply line from the sediment filter to the cold water shutoff. And finally, take the original hose that fed your faucet and connect it to the outlet side of the sediment filter. Finally, slowly turn the cold water shutoff back on and check for leaks. This setup works great for renters because it's relatively easy to install and remove, no drilling or permanent fixtures. Just swap it in and your water will instantly be easier on every subsequent filter you use, whether that's a water filter pitcher, countertop RO, or direct connect under sink filter. So if your filters are failing faster than expected, the problem might not be the product, it might be your water. Most filters are rated for a specific capacity or volume of water they can pass through. When they're exposed to sediment-heavy water, especially in older buildings or dense urban areas, they'll hit that capacity much faster than advertised. The solution is simple. Don't make your expensive filters do a job that they weren't designed to do. Let a cheap sediment pre-filter take care of the heavy lifting so your main carbon filters can focus on the stuff they remove best: contaminants like chlorine, disinfection byproducts, pesticides, and PFAS forever chemicals. By installing a basic sediment filter in the shower or under your sink, you can extend the life of your filters, maintain strong water pressure and better flow, save a ton of money on filter replacements, and avoid unnecessary frustration. I've made it easy for you, and there are links to all the parts you'll need for both setups down in the description. And if hard water is also causing issues in your home, like limescale buildup or skin irritation in the shower, don't miss the video coming up next. I'll walk you through the best renter-friendly ways to soften hard water without installing a whole house system. Click or tap to keep watching.